In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing of the Dell Venue 8 Pro Windows 8.1 8-inch tablet. That's a lot of 8s. So let's get to it. Now, I recently purchased the Asus Transformer Book T100, and I was very impressed with the Bay Trail Atom processor in it. I've had some experience with Atom processors in the past, and in my opinion, they weren't usable. The slow speed on those devices really frustrated me. But I heard good things about the new Bay Trail-based Atom processors, and I was very happy with the Transformer Book T100. But I also love my Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So I'm trying to find the perfect use case for Windows 8 in my life. Because right now I have a DVR with Windows 7 on it, my home theater PC. I have my PC build with Windows 7 on it. And then my laptop is actually a Chromebook, the HP Chromebook 14. So I really don't have a spot for Windows 8 in my life. Although I guess I could upgrade the PC build, but I just don't feel a need to do that at this time. But I really like the Transformer Book T100, but I think I could go with a smaller device, and this is an 8-inch tablet, much like my Samsung Galaxy Note, that I really like. But I do run Android on my phone. I think Android is the most advanced mobile operating system that you can get, bar none. So that's why I go with the Nexus 5 for my cell phone. I'm not that attached to Android for a tablet experience, and using the Transformer Book T100, I really thought that the tile interface was really good for a tablet. So I'm excited to see how this device is going to fit into my life and if I can actually use it as a tablet. So without any further ado, let me grab my trusty cutter here and let's get this thing open. Now this box is upside down only because there's a lot of labels on the other side and I didn't feel like ripping them off, and there's actually my last name written in a Sharpie on there, so instead of covering all that up, I'm just opening it up upside down. So let's get this thing open here, and here it is. It's actually in a very nicely padded box here. Let me put that to the side. Now you can get this in a 32 gigabyte version, or as I went with, a 64 gigabyte version. The 32 gigabyte version is a $299 device, so it's very affordable. This one here is a $339 device, which again is really affordable for a Windows 8 tablet. Now this is not Windows RT, this is full Windows 8.1. So that is really cool, and it's going to be interesting to use it in an 8-inch form factor. Now, I actually went with the other option where you can get a case and a stylus for this, and I believe the case and the stylus are $34 a piece. So if you get it as a package deal from Dell, it's $413.97. I think total out the door I spent somewhere around $440, $450. I'd have to actually take a look at the invoice on that, but it was very reasonable, a little bit more expensive than the Transformer Book T100, but you get a stylus with this and then of course the case. Those are not in this box here, those are being sent separately, so I won't be able to review that in this video, but when I do get them in the mail I'll definitely update you guys on it. So let's just go through the bullet points here. It's the Venue 8 Pro model 5830. It has an 8-inch IPS HD touch display with clear, crisp viewing from any angle. Usually I think an IPS display gives you viewing angles of 178 degrees, so almost a full 180 degrees. Slender form, fits easily in the hand or a pocket, probably a big pocket. Stay productive with pre-installed Microsoft Office Home and Student 2013. That's something that the Transformer Book had as well. Front and back cameras for video chats and photos. Now that's one of the deciding factors that I went with this device. Now taking pictures with a tablet, a lot of people look down on that. A lot of people think people who do that are kind of annoying. But in my scenario, when I list something up on eBay, I generally use my Samsung Galaxy Note 8. And it takes great pictures. And I thought it would be nice to have a tablet with a rear-facing camera, which the Transformer Book T100 does not have. And if you're going to be using this in a business environment, it's nice to have a camera on the back side if you have to document something. Okay, let's see. The last one here is share presentations or watch videos, movies wirelessly with Miracast. So that's nice to have if you have a Miracast-based receiver. So that's what the tablet looks like. Very thin there. And let's see what we have on the back here. The display is 1280 by 800 multi-touch display. I think it recognizes 5 touch points, but we'll have to see. It runs on an Intel Atom processor Z3740D, and that's the Bay Trail based processor. And I can tell you from experience, it is a very usable CPU in here. Windows 8.1 is going to run very nice on that processor. It has 2 gigs of RAM. It has, again, 64 gigabytes of storage and integrated Intel HD graphics. Software is, again, Windows 8.1, and you do get Microsoft Office Home and Student. I really don't use Microsoft Office. I use Google Docs, but it's good to have it available because sometimes you might need it. It has wireless N and Bluetooth. You can put a micro SD card in there. It has a micro SD card reader. The rear camera is a 5 megapixel camera, and the front camera is a 1.2 megapixel camera. And it has an 18 watt-hour battery. The thickness is 0.35 inches or 9 millimeters, and the weight is 395 grams. So it's going to be a very light, usable device. So let's get this box out of the sleeve here and open this up. You have a very understated box here with your representation of the tablet there and your Dell branding. But let's get this thing open. I'm going to have to slice open these seals here. Alright, let's open this thing up. There we go. There's the tablet itself. And let's pry it out of here. Good size. Take a tour of that in a second. And again, that's a full Windows 8.1 device. You can run your legacy programs on here. Let's see what else is in the box here. Alright, you get some documentation here, which actually includes the Windows Office COA. What else do we have in here? We have the USB cord, typical USB cord, and then the wall plug here with your Dell branding on it, typical US wall plug there, and your Windows 8 logo on that side. And then, of course, you have some documentation here, which I probably won't need, but it's good to keep. Warranty information, quick start guide. So let's get to the main event here. Let's get this out of the plastic. And as always, I try and keep this as intact as possible, because I do resell these devices generally. Although if I like this one, I think I'll hold on to it for a while. So the first thing I notice on the back is that it has a rubberized texture to it, and it has those concentric circles like ASUS has on their devices. I don't know if you can actually see it. There you go. All the way from the Dell logo. So let's start with the back here. You have your Dell logo, of course. You have your 5 megapixel camera. You have your Intel branding and your FCC information down there. On the top of the device, you have your Windows button, which I actually really like to have an actual button instead of the capacitive button on the front, because I hate home buttons on the front of the device. Up here you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Otherwise, there's nothing up on the top. On the left side of the device, there's nothing. On the bottom of the device, you have a speaker. On the right side, you have what appears to be your micro SD card slot here. And there's actually my fingernails are not big. They're not long, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in here. I might have to pry that out with something. Just cut my nails. There we go. I think I got it. There we go. You have your door here. It's quite a large door, actually, for such a small slot there. But there's your micro SD card slot there. Let's close that up again. Then you have a mic here, actually. And then you have your volume rocker. your power button, and then your USB port where you would power it up, micro USB, and then next to that you have your indicator light. So the front of the tablet here, obviously you have your 8-inch screen. You have a thinner bezel on these sides and then thicker bezels on the bottom and the top, so it's probably meant to be held like that. You have your 1.2 megapixel camera up front here, and that is pretty much it. So let's fire this thing up. See if it has any juice in it. There we go. That was pretty quick. You get your Dell splash screen there.